गिरधारी
जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरधारी
जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय
राधा माधव कुंज विहारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gandharvi Kaveri Nari Gandharvi Kaveri Dhari Gaur Hari. Jaya Gandharvi Kaveri Nari Gandharvi Kaveri Dhari Gaur Hari. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Pranam Sankirtan ki. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Hare Krishna Mataji. So like we are today going to discuss Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, shloka number 19. And this shloka is important to understand about the matter and spirit. The whole chapter itself, the first few shlokas are majorly Lord is trying to discuss about the matter and spirit. So before we proceed further, let's start with the little bit of summary of chapter 2 till verse 18. So till what has happened till now in chapter 2, what has been discussed and what all arguments Arjun is giving not to fight and how Lord is trying to convince. So it's all started like in the chapter 1, which is the observation of both the armies. We know that at the end in chapter 1, Arjuna said that no, I don't want to fight, and he sat just behind the chariot and he left the Gandhi and he said that no, I will not fight. So now in chapter 2, Sanjay said that we are proceeding after that. So now scene is like that. Sanjay is informing the Dhritarashtra, like seeing Arjun full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. So chapter 2 starts with Sanjay explaining it to Dhritarashtra that what has happened. So now in chapter 2, shloka number 2, then Lord speaks, Bhagavan Vacha. So, my dear Arjun, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They led not to higher planets but to inferior. And similarly, in another shloka like 2.3, also Lord trying to convince him, saying word Pratha, O son of Pratha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. So Lord is trying to convince him by reminding him about his family, that because he belongs to a very big family who are very big Kshatriyas, so the kings, samrats. So just Lord is trying to tell him. From Bhagavad Gita 2.4 to shloka number 2.6, Arjuna tried to give many excuses. So he gives some arguments using different methods like physical as well as the emotional aspects. being used by Arjuna from 2.4 to 2.6. And then from 2.7 to 2.9, although Arjuna said that, Karpanya dosho pahasvabhava pachhami dhamam dhamam samudacheta yacheshami chitam bhuvitam shishyastyam shaliman tam prapannam. So he said that I am surrendering to you and I am your student, now you guide me. But still, even after that, in shloka number 2.7, he said that he surrendered to Lord, but still he declared in 2.8 that he will not fight. And he actually fell silent. Just by saying that, he fell silent. And then in 2.11, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said that while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So, what Lord said in 2.11, which is like Ashochan Anavashocha Sattvam Prakyavadasya Bhashase Gatasuna Gatasamuscha Nanu Shochanti Panditaha. So, Lord is actually, trying to, trying to shatter, Arjuna by saying that तुम्हारे अंदर ऐसी नपुंसकता आई कहाँ से? Why are you, saying like this that I will not fight? You are a Kshatriya. तुम बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हो. You are actually speaking like a very knowledgeable person, but on the other hand, you are giving excuse not to fight. And then in 2.12 to 2.15, now Lord started trying to convince Arjuna by different ways. Different ways we'll see how. Like in 2.12, Lord comes to now from physical to spiritual aspect. Now he says in 2.12 that Na tvayaham jatu nasam na tam neme janadipara na chairna vishyama sarve mahtvayam tatparam. That means ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ कि मैं ना रहा हूँ या तुम ना रहे हो या ये राजा ना रहे हो. It was never that these kings were not there, I was not there, you were not there. We all were there. We are ever existing. So what is this? This is Lord is telling about the soul, because not the body. Body cannot exist forever. So similarly, from 2.13, Lord says that Dehinosmi yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha deham tat praktir dhirastatra namayati. So again, Lord is telling about the passing of soul. So as in 2.13, Lord is trying to make him understand. Actually, Arjuna knows everything, but he is trying to let us understand, so that we can understand that soul is eternal. And as soul exists in this body and passes from one age, like from childhood to youth, from youth to old age, and then dwindle and then finish. Similarly, the soul, the way it passes from one state of body to another state in the same body, similarly, at the end, it passes from one body to another body. So, Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Kaumaram means youth, yavanam means youth, kaumaram means kaumarya, that means teenage, boyhood. So, kaumaram yavanam jara, tatha deham tat prapti dhirastatra namayati. So, sober men do not actually, bewildered by this change. The way soul is changing body, actually it is changing now as well. We just do not perceive it. We are not able to understand that. But from our childhood, then we became youth, then we become, middle age, and then old age, and then we'll finish this body. So earlier, Lord was trying to convince him on the physical grounds, like you are a Kshatriya, you are from this family, you should not behave like this. And then Lord is coming to the spiritual platform. So gradually Lord will try to bring him to the spiritual platform and make him understand that we are soul, not the body. So this is what we are going to discuss. Similarly, in 2.16, Lord says, those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. So Lord is trying to say to Arjun that see, I am your friend, or you have surrendered to me. Although you can you can have trust on me. I am your teacher, but not only me. Even before me, the seers or the yogis or the intelligent people, they also said the same thing. They also conclude the same thing, that for body there is actually no endurance. That means it is not going to be forever. And for soul, there is no change. There is no change for soul, because soul is always same. So we will discuss it further. And in 2.17, Lord says that that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So now in 2.18, the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Again, Lord is trying to convince him by giving, saying the name Bharata, because you are from the Bharat dynasty. You are from the very, from Samrat Bharat was your ancestor. So you cannot behave like this. You are a Kshatriya. You have to fight. Do not just get into this like, these are my relatives or these are. So now we will see the shloka. So today's shloka is chapter 2, shloka number 19. Can you just repeat with me? Ya enam veti hantaram.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Ubhautau na vijanito.
Ubhautau na vijanito.
Nayam hanti na hanyate.
Nayam hanti na hanyate. Ya enam veti hantaram.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Ubhautana vijanito.
Ubhautau na vijanito.
Nayam hanti na hanyate.
Nayam hanti na hanyate. Prabhuji.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Yaschainam manyate hatam.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Ubhauto na vijanito.
Ubhautau na vijanito.
Nayam hanti na hanyate.
Nayam hanti na hanyate. Mataji, would you like native to sing? Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Yase kainam mantyate kadam.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Ubhautauta vijayanto.
Ubhautau na vijanito.
Nayam hanti na kayante.
Nayam hanti na hanyate.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Ya enam veti hantaram.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Yacchainam manyate hatam.
Ubhautau na vijanito.
Ubhautau na vijanito.
Nayam hanti na hayate.
Nayam hanti na manyate. So word by word, meaning Yaha,
Yeah.
anyone
Anyone
who enam, this Veti knows, Hantaram,
hantaram.
the killer, Yaha,
Yeah.
anyone
Anyone
who,
Who
Cha, also,
also
enam,
enam
this,
this
Manyate,
manyate
thinks,
things
Hatam,
hatam
killed,
killed
Ubhau,
above
both,
both
Tau,
thou
they,
they
Na,
na
never,
never
Vijnanitah,
vijayanatam
are in knowledge,
or in
knowledge
Na,
na
never,
never
Ayam,
I am
this,
this
Hanti,
hanti
kills,
kills
Na,
na
nor,
na
Hanyate,
hanyate
is killed.
is killed.
Translation purpose by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yeah, please read the translation. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as will be evident from subsequent verses. Nor is the living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only. This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic injunction is Ma hinsyat sarva bhutani. Never commit violence to anyone, nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्विताश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी विचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So once again, somebody would like to read the translation and purport.
Neither who thinks the living entity is slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not nor is slain.
Purport.
When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as will be evident from subsequent verses. Nor is the living entity killable. Because of his spiritual constitution, what is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only. This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic instruction is
Mahinsyat sarvabhutani.
Mahimsa sarvabhutani. Never commit violence to anyone, nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So these are some, like now we'll discuss some important words here. So
This came back from a search.
these are some important words here. Hantaram. So Hantaram means the destroyer. So and Hanyate. Hanyate is one who is killed. So in this verse, Arjuna, actually, because he was saying that I don't want to fight, so Lord is trying to convince him with the different ways. He's trying to convince him in different ways. Initially, he started at the bodily level, and then because we have our existence has three aspects, like physical, mental or emotional, and the last spiritual. So, because Arjuna was seeing all the army in the physical bodily concept, so he was saying that I don't want to fight. How will I shoot arrow on my great grandfather? How will I shoot my guru? How will I shoot arrow towards my own brothers? So there is no need. I don't want to fight. I don't want anything. And then Lord started telling him that why you are, as we discussed just initially, that in 2.7, 2.11, Lord trying to convince him with the bodily Matra Spashastu Pante, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada, Agama Kainam Nityasthan Chasva Bharata. So in 2.14, Lord says that you are not understanding that this appearance and disappearance of the happiness and distress is actually like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer. So you should not get impacted by this. You should be patience. You should have patience. You should actually tolerate it. So, but he is not understanding, and then Lord started telling about in 2.12 also Lord says that Natvayam Jatunasam Natam Nimejanadipa Nachayana Bhavishyana Sarve Tatparam. It means we are the soul, and it was never ever that I didn't exist, or you was not exist, or that these things were not existing. So we all were there since time immemorial. So then he is trying to convince Arjun that you should fight, and he started with the family background of Arjun as well, that you are a Prathu. So he because you are son of Pratha, Kunti Maharani. So, and then he called him Bharat because you are from the lineage of Bharat. So two different from the maternal side and paternal side. Lord Krishna, try to try to actually make him remember that he is not an ordinary person. You are from a very great lineage. Those all are great fighters, all Kshatriyas, and you are behaving like that. I don't want to fight. You are showing, timidness here. So this way, now Lord is trying to tell him more about the difference of the matter and spirit. So, because without that, Arjuna was just stuck to the level of material bodily concept only. So now Lord is trying to tell him that neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. Ya enam vetti hantaram. Vetti means knows. Those ऐसा जानते हैं, those who knows. Hantaram, the killer. Yah, anyone who. Cha, also means the one who thinks that he is killing, and the one who thinks that he is getting killed. Both are not in knowledge. Both are in ignorance. So that is what Lord is telling. So how come it is possible? Once we are killing someone, he is getting killed. So that's what we were discussing here. So in these important words, one word is Hantaram, which means the killer or the destroyer. So who is the destroyer? Hanyate. Hanyate means one who is getting killed. So who is getting killed here? We need to just contemplate on these things in these words, or in this scenario where Arjuna is standing in the Kurukshetra and he is not ready to fight, but Lord is telling that you are actually behaving like a coward, and you are saying that you don't want to fight, but in actual neither you are killing anyone nor anyone is getting killed. So that means he's actually indirectly telling to Arjuna that you are in illusion, you are not in knowledge, right? Because you are not able to understand that. So Lord is trying to make him understand. So the third word is Vijnanitaha. One, Vijnanitaha means one who is in knowledge. And here in this particular shloka, it says Na Vijanito, Ubhau to na Vijanito. Ubhau means they both. So the one who is shooting the arrow, he is thinking that I am shooting the arrow and killing the person. And the person who is getting killed is thinking that I am getting killed. So by this person. But both are wrong. So Lord is himself telling, they both are actually not in knowledge. Never Vijnanito. They both are not in knowledge. So if we see these words, it clearly says that if we actually try to understand who is the destroyer here in this Kurukshetra, so who is the destroyer? How to contemplate on these words? Any guess? Who is the destroyer?
Arjuna is a destroyer.
But Lord is saying that he is not the destroyer.
Krishna, Lord Krishna.
No,
Nature.
Krishna is also not the destroyer.
Nature
Sinful
will,
activity.
it is predestined.
We are sinful activities going as a destroyer.
Hmm. Okay, and then who is getting killed? So both are same. Like who is the destroyer and who is getting killed here?
One is destroyer.
So
No
actually,
one is going to
only
kill.
the only the body is getting killed, right, Mataji? So only the body is getting killed, and the body is killing the other body, right? Soul is not impacted by that. So we have to now understand that actually Lord is not trying to understand this to Arjun. Actually, he is trying to make this all of us to understand that actually we can understand that we are not the body, we are the soul. So now question can come if we see in the purport, right? Prabhupada says that when an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. So what is getting killed? We got the answer? Body only. The living entity within the body is not getting killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as will be evident from subsequent verses. Subsequent verses means upcoming verses, because it is 2.19 and in 2.20 Lord clearly says, Najayate Mriyate Vagadachina, Nayam Bhuta Bhantavana Bhuya, Najo Nitya Shashvatam Purano, Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire. Again, we'll come to that. So this, however, because of the spiritual, nor is a living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only. Now you got the answer? So we were asking this, that the destroyer, who is the destroyer? And Hanyate, one who is killed, so who is getting killed? It is the body only. So then what is the knowledge? Because they both were saying that they both are wrong. Those who think that he is killing and another person who thinks that he is getting killed, then both are in illusion. They are not in knowledge. So who is in knowledge? One who understands that we are the soul, we are not the body. Then further, Prabhupada says, this, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic injunction is Ma Hinshat Sarva Bhutani. Never commit violence to anyone. Nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically. So now let us understand this. Before we proceed, first of all, we have to understand about the soul. So, soul is explained in our Sanatan, Dharma only. It is no other Dharma who explains about the soul. So, soul, like what are the features of soul, or what is the size of soul? It is clearly mentioned in different Vedas and Upanishads. There are some, shlokas which are here. So it explains like this: Balatra Shatabhavasya Shatatha Kalpitasya Cha Bhavo Jiva Savijyaneha Sa Chanatya Cha Nantya Cha Kalpate. This soul is described as 1/10,000th part of upper portion of the hair point in size. It is mentioned in the Shvetashvata Upanishad 5.9. Bal Agra, Bal, that means hair. Agra means the front. So the front of the hair, if you divide it into, cut into the 100 pieces, and then again take one piece and then again cut into the 100 pieces. So that is the size of soul, is being mentioned in the Shvetashvata Upanishad. And similarly, there is one more, verse. Keshagra Shatabhavasya Shata Samsara Shatashantakah Jiva Sukshma Swarupoyam Sankhya Tito Hijit Kana. There are innumerable particles of spiritual atoms which are measured as 1/10,000th of the upper portion of the hair. So it is telling about the innumerable spiritual atoms. Like we know the atoms, right? The science says that there are atoms. So that is a material atom. But the soul is spiritual atom and much subtle than these atoms. These atoms are visible by our equipments, but no equipments made by humans can see the soul. Soul is so subtle. You can understand. You cannot actually conceive how small it is. It is mentioned in this that Bala Vishata Bhagasya Shatadha Kalpitasya Cha. That means if you divide the tip of the hair into 100 and then take one and then again divide that one into 100, that is the size of the soul. So if that is the size of soul, how it is possible to see that? There is no equipment which can see the soul. And also in Kathopanishad, we also find a similar passage which reads, Najayate mriyate va vipachchina nayam kutaschinna bhabhuva kaschit ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamani sharire. It is somewhere similar shloka, which is our next shloka, 2.20. It says that the one should not lament on the destruction of body. So this word vipashchan is important, which says that knowledge. That means it is telling one of the feature of soul. That means soul is full of knowledge. Right. Na jayate mriyate va vipashchina nayam kutaschin na abhuva kaschin. So that means one of the feature of soul is that it is full of knowledge. But because we are into body, we are in the conditioned state, we forget our original state. So now we'll see, these are some other questions. So death has, you can read it, death has a right on our physical body only, but we think that our entire existence will get finished. Why? Why it is like? We have to contemplate on that. Because we have three different, as I said, we have three levels of existence: physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. But somebody dies, then what happened actually? body is destructed, body finished, and then the soul enters into the other body, right? So death has a right on our physical body, means that it can impact our physical body only, right? Is it possible for death to give any kind of impact to our mind, or is it possible to destruct our spiritual existence, the soul? Is it possible? For that we have to understand first of all that we are not this body, we are a soul. So if we understand that, we can easily, understand that if somebody is getting killed by someone, so soul, first of all, why soul cannot be killed? Because soul is so subtle. So there is an example right in Mahabharata itself when Pitama Bhishma was, getting arrows from Arjuna. So there was not even a single, place in his body which was not pierced. It was totally pierced with the arrows. So if soul is something which is larger in size, it may get impact. But soul is so subtle that it cannot be impacted by the arrows or any kind of weapon. No weapon can, cut or, put any kind of impact on the soul. It is not at all possible. So what's wrong if, like in that case, if physical body is the only thing, which is getting impacted, and another two aspects of our existence, which is the mental, emotional. You can say it mental because emotions are in mind only. So emotional or the spiritual. These are not getting impacted at the time of death. Death cannot destroy these two aspects. So then, why we are so shattered when we talk about death? Immediately, when somebody die in our family or in one person, then we immediately get shattered, right? So that is what we'll discuss after few minutes. As of now, we'll go to the next question, which should come to our mind, that what's wrong if anyone kills anyone and say that Nayam Hamti Nanyate. He can also use that, any criminal can also say that, like, that मैं भी जाके मार सकता हूँ किसी को, गीता पढ़ के एक श्लोक याद कर लिया उसने, right? He can say that Nayam Hamti Nanyate, ना मैं मारने वाला हूँ ना ये मरने वाला है. Soul is ever existence, right? Ever existing. So why can't I kill? Or not only criminals, people are killing animals in the name, right? So the butchers also can say that what's wrong in that? If I am killing chicken or I am killing other animals for meat. So what do you think about that? Do you think it is correct if someone says like this and behave like this, whimsically they started killing?
No.
Is it okay?
No.
So what does our law, like law of nature or the law of God says about that? We'll see that what our nature, law of nature will say about that. So if you see, just for an example, if somebody is an army, he is also killing, right? But there is no impact on him. He is just following the orders. Police is also shooting. Once they get order from the judge or order from the superiors or the officers, they will also go. Army is also fighting on the borders, and they are actually killing others. And they, from their side also, they are killing our people. So, but then we are not giving any kind of punishment to them. Are we giving any punishment to them? But the same army man, if he comes to the city and just whimsically started killing anyone, then he will get punishment or not? He will get punishment, right? So, this is all mentioned that if you are killing someone or you are actually trying to impact, try to destruct or try to put any kind of harm to the body, any other body, without intention of doing that and with proper sanction of doing that from the scriptures or from the authorities, it is absolutely fine. So, to understand this, this is what the example just I have given about the army men. So once army, they have an orders, they have been sanctioned for this, they have been authorized to do that. That's the reason they are killing there in the first case. But if the same army men come to the civil area and started killing without any order, then it is whimsical action, right? So he do not have any kind of sanction to do that act. And he is doing his with his own intention, right? He is doing with the bhava of doing karma. He is doing this action for himself by his own will. He is not doing it for any other purpose, or he is not being sanctioned for that. The moment somebody tries to do it for himself, he becomes the kind of उसको फल भोगना ही होगा. That means he will have to bear the brunt, the consequences of that very action, whether it's a good action or bad action. He has to actually accept the fruits of that action or the reaction of that. So that way, our Shastras also says that there are 6 different types of people. So those who are called as aggressors. So if somebody falls into these 6 category, we are actually given instructions from the Shastras as well that we can kill them. So like in our society as well, in our judicial system, those are also made from on the basis of these scriptures. Yeah, but they have actually played with that and all. But if the court also says like if somebody kills someone in self-defense, they will not give the life sentence to them, right? Correct. Similarly, if you have killed someone by mistake, so they will not give you punishment. That extreme punishment, life sentence, will not be given. So there are 6 different type of people like who are mentioned as aggressors. So those aggressors are like one who abducts somebody's wife, one who try to loot your riches or wealth, one who try to put fire in your house, and one who actually attacks us with the deadly weapons, and one who occupies our property. So these are the 6, and the poison giver. Yeah, the 6th one is somebody who gives the poison to someone to kill. That means if their intention, if somebody comes to you and he try to kill you with intention, or he try to loot your property, or your abduct somebody's wife, or put fire on the house. So these 6 type of people can be killed, and there will be no sins. Nowadays, even our justice system also, if somebody comes as a thief to your home, and in your self-defense you killed him, so there is no actually major issues with that, because judges also see that okay, in what circumstances it happened. Nowadays, that is a different thing that these people, lawyers, they are making it something different story, and saving the wrong people, and that is happening. But that is what is scripture says, that these 6 aggressors can be killed. So then, this is what the law of nature says. Now, what law of nature says about killing somebody, even though, this is the thing what we discussed about, where we have to save ourselves, we are killing someone. What about the slaughterhouses? What about the criminal activities? What is happening, right? So they are killing animals for the taste, right? Just to satisfy the tongue, just to satisfy their hunger, they are killing animals. which is not at all accepted in the scriptures, right? So, what is wrong in that? What do you, any thought comes to your mind? Like, because Lord is said, Lord is clearly saying, "Nahanyate anyamane sharire." So, if there is no issue in killing, neither he who thinks the living entity is the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. That means the one who is killing and the one who is getting killed are actually not getting killed. So then anybody and these butchers can say, okay, we are killing, then what's wrong? So what do you think? What comes to your mind? Any thought?
Prabhuji, if
Artificially or with our personal interest, we cannot, we might not do it.
Correct.
If legally we can proceed with the things and the principles of dharma.
But nowadays even butcher houses are legal.
Only they for earning of money only they will artificially manufacture like extend thousands of chickens will grow and after they will cut and
But those artificial chickens are also having souls.
yeah.
So those are not artificial, but those are actually some artificial method they used to get the hen conceived number of times. So what is wrong in that? If these people can also say,
For money only we will do that one.
so that is, but why? Why that is? What do you say? If it is wrong, then why it is wrong? If Lord is telling that nobody is killing anyone is not getting killed by someone, so then what is wrong in that? These people can say, yeah, we are doing it.
Doing for selfishness.
Hmm?
Doing for selfish. Like he has to earn or he has to get the things.
The desires, the selfish desires. So we are killing them just for the selfish desire. But there is another aspect. Now, if you see, every body is a living entity. There is a living entity inside everybody, right? Whether it's chicken or mutton or that means any living entity is having a soul. First of all, we have to understand that there is a soul. So now, if we are killing someone, we are stopping the progress of that particular living entity, because there are 84 lakh species, and we are moving from one body to another body as per our karma. And we are in this human body after so many births. Since time immemorial, we are taking birth, death, one after another body. There is so many, births we have taken. And once we get a human body, it is our responsibility to understand about the soul, which is called as self-realization. The process to understand who am I, aham brahmasmi. That means I am the soul. I am not this body. Aham brahmasmi. That means I am the part and parcel of the same supreme soul. I am the part and parcel of the Lord. So that is what the spiritual, definition says about the soul. That is what the self-realization. To understand that we are not the bodies, we are the souls. And once we understand in the human form of life that, we are the soul, then we will be able to see the same aspect, same soul in others as well. If we do not understand that we are the soul, we cannot anticipate in any other body as well. First of all, we have to understand that we are soul, we are not the body. Correct? No? If we do not understand, how will I see soul in others? फिर तो मेरे लिए चिकन मटन हाथी घोड़ा सब एक ही जैसे हैं. That means जहाँ भी मन करेगा मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. It is happening in Arabian countries. They are eating anything. In China also, they whatever is moving they eat. Anything they found moving they eat, right? So this is what. So And also our Shastra says in the Bhagavad Gita itself, it is mentioned, Ma hinsat sarva bhutani. The Vedas also says, Ma hinsat sarva bhutani. Never commit violence to anyone. Nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. So then it is clear now that one side Lord is saying that no one is getting killed, on the other side Lord is telling that we should not kill the body, right? So we have to understand that why body is not to be killed. Although soul is imperishable, soul is not going to impact in any way. But then why body also should be maintained? Because every body is in progress. Those who are animals today, someday they may become humans. If you kill them now, the whole process will get stopped there itself. And then again they have to go to take another body. We have stopped. Anyway, they will take another body even once they die. Somebody may say once their age completes, then also they will take another body. So why can't I go and cut it now and eat it? No, why can't I kill it now? Because you have intervened. You are putting unnecessary intervention in somebody's life. Prabhupada has given a very nice example in a similar context. Like if you have bought a new flat somewhere in some apartment. That is your flat now. It is, you spend a lot of money with full papers and all, everything. You bought a new house. Now somebody comes, few people comes, and they pull you out from that apartment, and then they throw you away from that apartment, and they take that apartment. Now you may not be able to do anything to those strong people, powerful people. But you will take some shelter somewhere, whatever will be your condition. But what law will do in this case? The law of state says that if somebody do like this, that is punishable offense, right? And the person who is getting impacted by that is in so much of pain. So similarly, if we see this body as an apartment or as a flat or as a home for a soul, we can actually understand that soul is also residing in this home. If somebody comes and kills this, then this soul has to take some shelter. Till the time it is not getting another body, it will roam here and there. So that is what is happening. We are killing the animals just for the taste of tongue. We are killing cows, we are killing chickens, anything. So much of killing is happening in the name of, non-vegetarian food. So that is very, very abominable, which is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada, and is punishable not only by the law of state, by the law of nature as well. That is a different thing, that now law of state is allowing, they are giving license for these butcher houses, right? In so many, on the outskirts of big cities, there are butcher houses where they kill cows, where they kill buffaloes and different animals. And they have a license for that. So this because the correct people are sitting on, they do not know. They are same Lord is telling about. They are in illusion. They do not know what they are doing. They are totally in illusion. And just for the sake of money, just for the sake of different self-interest, they are allowing all this. Why can't, if you see the condition of law of state, if you kill any dog, they will not allow. Immediately people will come. You are creating it, totally, law is creating a totally, different kind of behavior for different kind of animals. Because they have a self-interest to eat chicken, to let them, people eat chicken or mutton, they are giving them license. But if you start killing dogs on, road, or you start killing other which are not, edible for people, which are not getting consumed by people, then they will say, so many people will come on the road. That why are you killing dogs? Why are you killing these? They are so good. But if you go to northeast, you will not find even dogs on the road. They eat dogs. Some states of northeast, specifically Nagaland. So if you go to Nagaland, you will not find any dogs on roads. They simply kill. They simply pick and kill, and they keep their dog hungry for a week time. And so I don't want to tell, but they keep it hungry for 7 days, and then they will actually allow them to eat. And then, so it's a very, very abominable, dog eaters are there, but it is mentioned in our Shastras as well. So Chandal, they used to call as Chandala. So dog eaters are there. So there are different laws of state. Now, the question comes that what is the way to win over the fear of death? So now, as of now, it is understood that death is unavoidable, right? Death is unavoidable for anyone. Who has taken birth has to die as well. So now, in this particular shloka, we have seen some different features of the body and the spirit. Because in this particular shloka, Lord just try to make Arjuna or all of us understand that we are not the body and we are the soul. So what are the different features of a body or of our spirit? We can see. So what are the features of body? It is made of matter. It is made up of matter, which is 5 elements, right? What are those 5 elements? Earth, water, air, fire and ether, right? And on the other side, spirit is made up of spiritual substance, which is Sat Chit Anand. Sat means eternal, which is truth. You can say truth. So why truth? Because it is eternal. It is never going to be finished. Chit means jnana. It is full of knowledge. Anand, it is full of bliss. So spirit is made up of Sat, Chit and Anand. While the body is made up of 5 elements, or you can say matter. These are gross elements, and there are 3 elements which are subtle elements, which is mind, intelligence and false ego. So body is made up of total 8 elements. 5 elements for gross body and 3 elements for subtle body. Then our body is measurable. We can measure. We have different bodies, right? Elephant is having a big body, ant is having a small body. But this spirit is immeasurable. We cannot, it is aparimeya. We cannot measure it. Why it is mentioned in previous, verses? It is mentioned it is balagra shatabhagasya. But here it is mentioned, Lord mentioned and used the word, different word of Sanskrit being used in this particular chapter. So aparimeya. So why is aparimeya? Means immeasurable. Why immeasurable? Because it cannot be seen from any of our existing equipments or any of the scientific equipments or of the body. These anything cannot see, right? So in that way it is aparimeya or cannot be measured. Then vyasya, perishable. व्यय होता है बॉडी जो बॉडी है उसका व्यय होता है it actually decreases the strength of body, decreases the mental, the intelligence capacity, the mental capacity of the body, it also reduces. Mind also becomes slow as age progresses, so it व्यय होता है इसका व्यस्य. On the other hand, spirit is avyasya. इसका व्यय नहीं होता है. There is no, it is imperishable. इसका व्यय नहीं होता है, इसका खर्च नहीं होता है कुछ भी. Then the body is temporary. On the other hand, the soul is permanent and avinashi. So what is your avinashi? Which is indestructible, which cannot be destroyed. Avinashi. Then the body is bound to end. That is for sure. But on the other hand, the soul is eternal. The word it is used as aja, which is unborn, eternal, and ever existing. So soul is since time immemorial. How come? Because we are the part and parcel of Lord. So being part and parcel of Lord, we are also having the same qualities. Lord is also Satchidanand, we are also Satchidanand. But there is a huge difference in the quantity. Quality wise we are same, but quantity wise we are nothing in front of Lord. You can, you might have heard the example of a drop of a sea, drop of ocean, and the ocean. So that is what. A drop of an ocean is having the same qualities which is found in ocean. But if you see, you cannot compare the size of a drop of ocean with the ocean. So that is what is the difference between a super soul and soul. Then our body is changing continuously. Every second it is getting changed. We cannot see it, but it is getting changed. It says, science also says now, so-called science says that every 7 years the whole cells of our body get changed, which are now in our body. After exactly 7 years, there will not be a single cell, which will remain the same cell, which is now available in the body. All the cells will change within 7 years. So it's a continuous process. It's an aging process. So, but soul, on the other hand, is never ever changes. It remains Satchidanand only. Body के अंदर changes होते हैं, लेकिन soul में कोई change नहीं होते. So this is, now we can easily understand by an example, like you just put yourself as an example. You can remember yourself when you were 3-4 year old. You are remembering your body when your body was 3-4 year old. When you become youth, your body was youth. You was same. Now also in this age, we are same only, same soul. But the body is getting changed. Is it changing our thoughts? Thoughts are changing, but actually if you see, when I say I, that who is that I? I am. So that I sitting in the body is same. Only the body is actually changing from boyhood to youth, youth to old age, and then once the time comes, it will change the body and move from one body to another body. Now if somebody come and try to put any kind of interference in that system, in that law of nature, in that case he is putting a sin, if he is not being authorized to do that. We have already discussed about the 6 type of offenders or aggressors. Those 6 type of aggressors are allowed to be killed. So Duryodhana was actually fitting into all these 6 type of aggressors. Kauravas were actually perfectly fitted into these 6 type of aggressors, right? They tried to abduct Draupadi, they tried to, steal the wealth, right? They tried to kill all of them, Pandavas as well. They tried to put fire, right? All 6, they are perfectly fit. So this way, Lord is trying to convince Arjuna that you should not actually worry about the body. You are a soul, and these are also souls. So you just actually do your work, do your karma, and do with my authority. When Lord Himself is saying that kill, then we should not think it even for a second. Right? He's a supreme authority. He Himself is saying. So now, once we understood that what is the difference between soul and body, do we still have fear in our heart about the death? If we are saying no, I do not think it is truth, because we have fear. We have fear in our heart. So how to realize this? Actually, we just understood it, that what is body, what is soul, but how to realize that? So that is what is mentioned in the scriptures, and it is given in different Vaishnava paramparas, that in Kali Yuga the chanting of the holy name is the only way to realize ourselves. Until and unless we do not realize that who we are, this fear of death will always be there. Correct? Till the time I am thinking that I am this body, somebody come and kill me, then this fear will be always be there, right? Or kill somebody, my relative or my known person, then this fear will be there. But once I realize that I am not this body, I am a soul, then this fear will gradually move away. So how to do that? This can be done to self-realization. That means to know that I am not this body, I am a soul. The only way in Kali Yuga is to chant the holy name of the Lord. So once we chant the holy name of the Lord, gradually it will cleanse the overall conditioning, what is actually being totally covered. This total conditioning, the all after birth, death, since time immemorial, we are being conditioned now to think that we are body. And this can be removed only by the chanting of the holy name. Just by hearing the holy name, just by chanting the holy name, this cover of ignorance can be removed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, thank you so much. Any questions? That's all for this shloka. You are free to ask any question.
Prabhuji, actually, death, no? Timely death is natural and it is, if we practice consciousness at the time of death, we will remember the God consciousness, God name, holy name of God, and we will go to our destination.
Mm-hmm.
But in case if we are in the middle age, from 30, 40 something, and if any accident, we will die. At that time, our consciousness may not remember the holy name of the God, because the accident law within 6 seconds it will happen now. Then if we don't remember it, then again we have to take birth, or by the mercy of God we will go to our.
If we are chanting with the dedication, full dedication, we should not just think about that. We just do our 100% and leave it everything on the Lord, because Lord will take care of that. Lord says that aham tam sarvapapebhyo mokshayami ma shucha. So we just need to सर्व धर्मान परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणं व्रज, ये हमको करना है. बाकी सेकंड लाइन किसको करनी है, भगवान खुद बता रहे हैं, अहम त्वाम सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचा. तो फर्स्ट लाइन, we need to surrender, we need to leave everything, all other things, and just to surrender to Lord with full dedication. And then he's saying that he will take care of that. So because you are thinking about the body again, when the body is getting killed in accident. But even then, once the body is getting hit by some accidents, the subtle body is there. In the subtle body, mind, intelligence, God's ego is there. So mind still works. Even the body, the gross body gets destroyed, mind is still there. Yeah. Any other question, Prabhuji? Any question, Mataji? Yes, sir. All clear?